Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan. At this year's E3, Bethesda Game Studios head developer Todd Howard revealed their new project, Fallout 76, a fully online multiplayer Fallout set in West Virginia in 2102. So this one is a prequel, the earliest of all Fallout games. Vault 76 was made in the Washington, D.C. area to celebrate the country's tricentennial. And since I probably mispronounced that, I'll just say the 300-year anniversary of the United States. And if you don't remember, Vault 76 was mentioned in a Fallout 3 terminal in the Citadel and in a holotape on the mothership Zeta. The game begins 25 years after the bombs dropped in the War of 2077, and the time period and the area will be a much different looking wasteland than we are used to, for there will be much greener and growing vegetation that hasn't been affected by the radiation. The character creation will begin inside the vault, and after you complete your character and pick your skills using the special system, and we will talk more about the skill cards in a little bit, you can leave the vault or receive a quest from the Overseer. Now, the Overseer of Vault 76 is called Brain Power 4, which we learned about from the Fallout 3 terminal. It might be the time to mention here that this game has no Bethesda-made NPCs. Every person you will encounter in the world will be a living, breathing person. Now, some might think with no NPCs there wouldn't be any quests, but both Todd Howard and Pete Hines said this game is full of quests. The difference is the way you get the quests in Fallout 76 is from holotapes, robots, and the Overseer instead of NPCs. Now, some might also wonder about trading or buying weapons or ammo. That is also done by both robots, and real players in the world can set up their own stores to sell weapons, food, or general stores. One thing I might interject at this point, one common negative comment that seemed to be given to Fallout 4 over and over was either the lack of choice or the lack of role-playing or replayability. If anything, this new online system, with it replacing the NPCs with real people, makes the possibilities endless as to what may happen or what you can do. Will you be evil or be a raider attacking other people in settlements? Or will you be a trader setting up a much-needed farm or ammo stand? Maybe you will be the first Minuteman going around helping others. The role-playing and replaying possibilities are endless. So at least those complaints from Fallout 4 cannot be said about Fallout 76. As you've also probably heard, the map is 4 times bigger than Fallout 4, with 6 distinct areas to explore. It literally covers most of West Virginia. These 6 regions are the Forest, the Toxic Valley, the Ash Heap, the Savage Divide, the Mire, and the Cranberry Bog. Now, these all have various ecosystems and improved graphic systems over Fallout 4, with a much more dynamic weather system, and you can also see much further than you could in Fallout 4. Now, throughout these new regions, there will be a host of new enemies and creatures to contend with, and some come straight out of West Virginian folklore, like the Mothman. In fact, there will even be a Mothman museum you will be able to explore. Other creatures include the Scorched, which is a new kind of ghoul, the Grafton Monster, another native creature from folklore, the Scorched Beast, which is a large bat-like creature, the diseased Mega Sloth, the glowing Snallygaster, mutant frogs, the Rad Wasp, the Liberators, they're little spider-like robots, and several more unnamed creatures. Now, as I've told you guys many times, you will still be able to use VATS in this game. Even though it won't stop or slow down time, it will still target your enemy, and it will still deal critical damage when the time is right. In Fallout 76, Bethesda is bringing back mutations from the first 2 Fallouts. If you are exposed to radiation for too long, your character will mutate. Most of the time, it will be in a non-visual way by changing some of your stats. but they said there is a chance that the mutations could produce a visible change to your character. Now that would be cool to see. Weapon damage is also back as well, along with food spoiling in time, so you will be forced to maintain your weapons and make sure you have properly maintained food to consume. The settlement building is also back, though not as much as many thought it would be. You will be able to build what is called camps, and when you stop your game, all your progress along with your camp goes with you. Then when you start again and load back into your server, your camp is loaded again just like it was when you last left. Now it's not been fully explained yet how the servers will work, although we know that they are working toward fully private servers as to be able to run mods, but they won't have that at the time of launch. We do know there won't be thousands or even hundreds on a server at a time, but more like dozens. In fact, 24 to 32 was the most that Todd Howard talked about, and he said a good number to team up would be groups of 4. But of course, that is just a suggestion by Bethesda, because this is at its very heart a do-whatever-you-want-to game. Crafting is back, making food, customizing weapons and armor. All those things from Fallout 4 are back, and yes, you can play solo if you want, and you will experience all that you normally would in a Fallout game. As your character levels up, you will receive perk cards, much like the perk tree from Fallout 4, but with these cards you can actually trade with other players to get a more desirable perk for your character. Now, one thing I covered in my last video, people have feared this turning into a PvP battle royale, where someone just keeps killing you and killing you and killing you. Well, Fallout 76 is built to prevent that from happening. First, you might be glad to know, just like in a normal Fallout, when you die, you don't lose your stuff, your weapons, your ammo, etc. Plus, if someone does kill you, the game has a failsafe that will not allow them to do it again, and you will and can walk away. Toward the end of the game, after completing most of the quests and finding all the necessary ingredients and the fragmented launch codes, players will be able to set off one of multiple nukes that are positioned around the map. Now this has caused many to have questions, and I'll do my best to answer those here. First, if someone is in the area where the bombs dropped, yes, you will die. Now if your camp is set up where the bombs dropped, no, it will not be totally destroyed, but yes, it will be damaged. But it can be repaired if you have the materials. Now one more thing to note. The area where the bombs dropped has now become a very high level area, meaning there are very high levels of radiation. And also, a new very high level of creatures will spawn in that area, and new very high levels of resources will be there. So you will need very high level weapons and power armor to survive in this area. Now, as most of you know, the game releases this fall, November 14th, 2018, but you can pre-order it right now, and you have to pre-order it to have access to the beta. I would also tell you that you could order the special edition, and you can get the power armor helmet, but they are sold out. But I'm hoping they'll get more soon. Now I know I surely missed something because there is so much information to go over about this game, but I hope that at least gets you fully caught up with the basic facts of Fallout 76. Now you guys let me know what you want me to dive deeper into next. Do you want me to look deeper into the creatures we will face? Maybe more about the location? Whatever you guys tell me, I want to hear from you. But I want to thank you for stopping by the King's Corner today. And hey, y'all go take a look at my Patreon page and please consider supporting this channel. That's what will keep this content coming. And hey, if you're not a subscriber, that's free. Just tap that button. It's just like the VATS. I am the KingFanMan. I will see you next time.